Another week, another video. NFL recap week 8. That's what you're going to get. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. We got to give a shout out to the New York Jets. All of that. They finally get their first win of the season. They probably should have had 4, maybe 5, but it is what it is. They get their first win after making a comeback against the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, they outscored the Bengals 23-7 in the fourth quarter to come back, and they do win 39-38. So hats off to them. I know it's weird saying congratulations to a team getting a first win, but it's been 8 weeks, so you would hope that that wouldn't be the first time you celebrate a victory. But for the Jets case, it is. But Justin, he had a rebound game after going through some bad for last couple weeks actually. 244 passing, 1 touchdown. Also gave him 31 yards rushing. Bryce Hall, 133 on the field, 2 touchdowns, and a throwing TD. That sealed the that gave him the game, gave him the lead in the fourth, and they held on to it. So hats off to them. 2 things about this game. We learned that the Jets could play consistently, and they shouldn't be 1-7. They're better than that, which I believe. But they showed that this team showed a lot of heart, and the Bengals defense is awful. I mean, awful, like really bad. But I mean, it is what it is. It's not. I don't think the players is bad. It's something in that system, and I've been saying this for years, that something in that system is not working. And you have talent on that defense, but it does not show collectively to make sure that this team is at least middle of the pack. Ain't nobody saying you got to be top 5, but this team constantly puts too much pressure, whether it's Flacco or Burrow, on this offense to score high amounts of points. And realistically, that's a lot for 17 weeks. You putting too much pressure. It was too much pressure for Burrow, and it's definitely too much pressure for 40-year-old Flacco. Yeah, we know the game plan for the Bengals, whether it's Burrow or Flacco. Get the ball to Chase, get the ball to Higgins. Everybody else you open, I got you. And hope that the running game, which has been looking good with Brown, gives you enough to keep the defense guessing. We know that's the mix, that's the plan. But all of that goes out the window when your defense collectively cannot make stops. Not enough pass rush, not enough stops. I mean, Justin, I know that's a different type of quarterback. You know you got to account for him throwing and moving the ball around, but the run defense has been bad. And outside of offensive explosions, this is probably what you're going to see from this Bengals team with Flacco and with Burrow. Something's got to change on that defensive side. That's too much pressure to put on one side of the ball, but that's what it is for the Bengals. Hopefully they figure that out, because I think they're more talented than their defense lets off. I don't think they're world-class bad, but it's been going on for a few seasons now, so hopefully that gets changed. But shout out to Justin, last but not least. He did have a rough week with the owner calling him out about not being able to complete a pass, and being benched and all of that, and him turning it around and putting it on the goodness of God is really cool of him to say that publicly. I know a lot of people look at him like, why are you being vulnerable? But I mean, he really wants to win. I don't think that he lacks talent or he lacks the ability to care, but I mean, bro, you really never want to start your career off with 2 franchises like the Bears or the Jets. You would hope better for yourself, but hey, I know he signed the deal, but you would want better. I thought the Jets would be better. They look like they would be better, but it seems like he's back on the Bears before they got all the talent. So I mean, it's been a rough year for him, but the team as well. This is not a 1-7 team. I mean, it's teams we've seen way worse than this, so do better. But maybe it's a thing. You got a first-time GM, first-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator. Sometimes it's too many firsts. And when you have somebody like Justin, who is a unique talent. You probably need somebody that might know what they're doing in between offensive coordinating and being a head coach that could help him with that. That way, it's not just, I don't know, go out there and use your talent and figure it out, because that's what they told him in Chicago. And you can't just use your talent. You need help. You need to be coached. That's what they pay y'all for. So I know Aaron Glenn is learning, so I'm not on his head, but we don't want to make it a thing where it's like, hey, just go out there and use your talent. And you've been a coach for 3-4 years and we've been terrible. So I think Glenn to turn it around. I think the whole offense, maybe this will spark the team. They got an off week and then they get the Browns. Browns is not doing anything special right now. So hopefully, maybe they build on this. I'm not saying they making the playoffs, but it's nice to see him turn around and the team finally get a win. They probably should have had a handful, but who's counting? We're going to move on. Bears, oh Bears. Y'all did it again. I'm proud of you. Bears fall short to the Ravens, and we fall short to the Ravens without a man named Lamar Jackson. And for a couple of weeks now, it has been no Lamar, no victory. And leave it to the Chicago Bears to break that trend. And with no Lamar, it was a victory. And Tyler Huntley, got to give him respect. He's been in this system before. And him coming back to this team, it's kind of easy. It helps because you're not really learning that much. You're just doing what you had been doing until, last year when you moved on. But, other than that, he played a pretty good game. He gave him 17 of 22 for 186, one touchdown. King Henry, 22 yards, 71 yards off 21 rushes, 2 touchdowns. Passes Walter Payton for 5th all-time running back TDs, 111 for those of you that's counting. Caleb gave you 285, 1 interception, and the rushing game did not continue its trend. It looked like it had been picking up after the bye week, and it kind of came back down to life this time. Odunze had 114. DJ Moore, it's not you, bro. I'm just saying your name. I would want to know. I hope that you find out for you, but I'm kind of curious too. Why are we using DJ Moore as a running back? Like, we think he's built to run the ball up the middle. So you telling me that he has the build of a running back and he's a receiver. So we're going to use him like Derrick Henry. We're going to run him in between the tackles. That's no good. This is a 1,000-yard receiver, at least, with bad quarterback play. And I think Caleb is above bad quarterback play. So this should be a 1,300 receiver. And we decided we want to get too cute and use Buddy as a running back. I don't care if it was only 2 rushes. That makes no sense. And I got another question, since we asked a question about the Bears. Does anybody know where Cole Kmet is? I have not seen Big Bro in a while, so maybe I'm missing him. Somebody need to let me know, because I've been looking for Bro and I haven't seen him. So I don't know if he's on punishment, he's in the doghouse, him and the coach got in a squabble, or him and Poles had a whole issue, and I don't know, he did, I'm going to bench you till I trade you on the side of the game. I don't know what it is, but we ain't seen Bro. And it's almost to the point where if you're not going to use him at all and you're not going to use DJ Moore how he's supposed to be used, go ahead and put them two together and package them and trade them for pass rushing, because that's another thing. You need that pass rushing. That pass rushing is lacking real bad. You just lost Shamir Turner, unfortunately, ACL tear. Hate to see that for a rookie. Hate to see that anytime, but a rookie, you ain't even got started yet, and then you got to rebuild. So, well wishes to him. Hope he recovers and becomes what he's supposed to become. But yeah, this defense is already struggling. You're missing your top 3 corners, and you have no pass rush. So at some point, you would be better off just trading them two and getting you some help on the defensive end. Because if you're not going to use them, what's the point? you just got abundance of riches for no reason. At least hit Buddy. But it seems him and Caleb has been missing all year with DJ Moore being down the field open and Caleb not hitting him. So it's a disconnect there somewhere. So hopefully they figure that out and we see Caleb become who we thought he was going to be. We're missing that special ability that had him going number one overall. But I'm starting to wonder with polls over there, were you too laser focused on Caleb and not focused enough on what could become of the other quarterbacks? Because I don't know if you noticed the other quarterbacks that you skipped over, some of them are doing quite well. We're going to get into one right now, which is Drake May leading the Patriots to another victory. They 6-2 right now. They had their way with the Browns, 32-13. Browns, Myles Garrett, 5 sacks. Most in the game for a Browns player. Give him his flowers. But Drake May, 282, 3 touchdowns. Did have 1 interception, but gave him 50 yards rushing. On the season, he is over 2,000 yards, 75% completion rate, 15 touchdowns, 3 TDs. 3 interceptions. Chicago, I know you would love to have that right now. But yeah, the Patriots defense, 4th in points allowed, 2nd in rushing yards allowed, 9th in total yards. So it's a whole culture change in New England. I'm not saying the days of Brady and Belichick is back, but Vrabel, he's got his hands on his team. They playing the right way. Drake May looks like he's breaking out, which you can kind of tell last year he just needed a little bit more talent. They've got him that, and like the team is going up. It's crazy. So we haven't seen the Patriots look solid like in a while. I mean, since Thomas Brady wore that jersey, and now you looking pretty good. Look like you're on your way to a playoffs. So hopefully they keep that up. Tua, we're going to give you your flowers because you did bounce back, my boy. You had some issues calling out players, saying they was missing player-only meetings. Maybe you could have kept that in-house because you had a rough game a couple days later against the Browns, but you did bounce back against the Falcons. Miami wins 34-10. Tua, 20 of 26, 4 touchdowns, clean game. So I got to give you a respect. You did have a rough game after calling out players, but you did bounce back. You showed adversity. So Miami season is kind of down in the dumps, but you're gonna probably be stuck with Tua. So the better he looks, that's gonna help the team in the long run. Eagles have their way with the Giants, 38-20. Unfortunately, Cam Scatterboo, he dislocated his ankle. He is out for the season. Happened in the second quarter. Hate to see it. He looked like he was on his way to being a Rookie of the Year candidate, but unfortunately injuries happen. Drake May, wrong one. Jason Dart, 193 with the passing. Sacked 5 times. And unfortunately, bro has been sacked 17 times in 5 games. Only 5 games, 17 times. That is a cause for concern because either it's his style of play, which he does do a lot of freelancing, or it's the offensive line. It could be a mixture of both, but that's up to Dayball to figure that out because that's a lot. You don't want this kid getting hit and shell-shocked early. Because once the adrenaline of being a starter wears off and them hits start to hurt, especially with the weather changing, it could do more damage than it could. Then it would just be him getting back up and shaking it off. Some of them hits in December hurt a little more than they probably do in September. So hopefully they protect the kid and he does what he needs to do to not get lit up, because that's what's happening. And on the flip side, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 179, 4 touchdowns, not too much, just a clean game. Barkley, 150 on the yards, 1 touchdown. Giants, maybe the next time you would just keep somebody like Barkley. I don't know, because it seems like every time he plays you, it's punishment for you. It just seems like he has his way. Like, uncontrollably has his way. There's nobody that can stop him or think about stopping bro. So, maybe next time you get a player of Barkley's caliber, you trade them away or either keep them, because letting them go for free agency and they sign in the division, it's like punishment. It's almost punishment, but yeah, that's where those two teams are at. We're moving on to the Indianapolis Colts. Who would have thought they would be 7-1? They are now, after destroying the Tennessee Titans. They are the opposite, 1-7. Daniel Jones, another clean game, 272, 3 touchdowns. This man, Jonathan Taylor, 153, 3 touchdowns. Another game with 3 touchdowns. Somebody needs to stop this man. He's on the tear. I would be nervous, because if he's going to continue to run like that and Jones is going to play this clean, oh boy. We got the Colts and the Patriots looking like the old days with Manning and Brady. We ain't seen them two teams good at the same time in a long time, and here we are. Look at 25. Look at 2025 doing things differently. But really, there's nothing much to say. Hey, Tennessee, Cam can't save y'all. Cam Ward, he cannot save y'all. You're gonna have to get the boys some talent. Y'all gonna learn to stop getting these quarterbacks number one, and you have nothing to offer them. It's not what he could do for you, it's what you could do for him. You have nothing for this kid. You have nothing. It would have helped if you still had A.J. Brown or Derrick Henry. If you still had those kind of caliber players on, or Bravo, it would have helped if you had coaching or some kind of quality players, star quality players, but you have none of that. And this is not the time to hope that you think you just gonna catch lightning in a bottle. We've been seeing it. It just ain't happening. These quarterbacks go number one, and it's still a struggle because the team is picking. And usually if a team is picking number one, they are really bad. So Cam Ward can't save you. Hopefully you know what to do. You take advice from New England, and hopefully you have some guys that's progressing, some youngsters, and you go spend some big boy money. Get you some whoever's available. Better do like New England. Get you them guys that dominated in the Super Bowl. Get you some of them guys that are high class free agents. Guys that you can just say, I know you're going to do your job. I don't have to worry. I don't have to grow you up. You already there. And then that'll take some of the pressure off of him. Get him a receiver, maybe a running back, maybe both. But help the kid. So, I'm going to move on. Aaron Rodgers, revenge game, not really. So, Aaron Rodgers' first game since leaving the Green Bay. Yeah, Green Bay. He did battle his predecessor, which is Jordan Love, and Jordan Love came out victorious. I mean, Green Bay looked solid. I mean, that's just an understatement. Love, 360 on the yards, 20 straight completions. Who would ever thought? He's tied the franchise record for Green Bay other beloved quarterback, Brett Favre. So that should say something. A lot of people don't believe in Jordan Love, but he does have the capability. Bro's not a slouch. So yeah, and it's crazy because he tied the record that Favre had, and Favre did it against the Steelers on Sunday Night Football and back in 2007. Look how that works. But yeah, Kraft, he had 143, 2 touchdowns. Watson looked good back in his first game since tearing his ACL last year. He had 4 catches, 85 yards. Jalen Reed is expected to come back November. Hey, y'all need to be careful with this receiving core. This defense already cooking. This could be a problem for the NFC. The Packers could be on their way to a Super Bowl. So I would be concerned about that. The way that defense looks, and they're starting to get guys healthy. They're already looking good without having all these guys. That's a problem. Jerry Jones, you messed up trading that boy. You know better. You'll learn. One of these days, well, probably not. You're going to do what you're going to do. Yep. And Steelers, the defense, we got to talk. Tomlin, I got to stay on you, big bro. This is your pride and joy. You got to learn. You got Jalen Ramsey, 31 years old, and you have Darius Slay, 34 years old. These are 2 really good players, but at this point, you cannot have them chasing around 25 and 26-year-olds. You got to stop that. Joey Porter, he's probably gonna have to be your lead, and these guys are have to you're gonna have to put Jalen in the slot, let him handle those tight ends, rough him up, and you're gonna have to mix and match with Slay or something. But you cannot leave them two opposite sides, and they are chasing around 20-year-olds. That's not okay. You gotta stop that. You you gotta stop that. I know they veterans and you ain't gotta coach them much. They know what to do up here. But this, the physical, the body, hey, it might not want to move how this is moving. This might move lightning fast. This is moving slow. So it's a disconnect. And you put them in a bad situation every week. You put them in a bad situation when you sign them. I know you signed Kyler Duggar. You made a trade for them. That's safety work, I know. But these guys are still getting lit up. Because before the safety is the cornerbacks. And you put them in bad situations. These one-on-ones, nah. Bad news. You can't have 30-year-olds chasing around these 20-year-olds. That's bad news. You asking for it. It's Steelers defense. It's not okay. TJ, he's okay. 4 sacks on the year, but he's not what you are expecting. But even him, your best player, he's 31 years old, and he's had injuries. You're putting a lot of pressure on that defense. You're putting a lot of weight on these guys. Because your young guys on the bench was what you do have of them. And your veterans, your 30-year-old guys is out there. And these guys get beat. They can't keep up with these kids. You put them in a bad way. You put them in a bad way. They're last in passing yards allowed a game. 18 against the rush. Giving up 25. They're scoring 25 as a team, but they're giving up 25. So basically, you're accounting you putting all your eggs in the basket of Aaron Rodgers, willing you to victories week after week. So you think this man you think he's built for that at the age he's at. Basically on his last leg, probably his last year. And you think that that's okay to put that on a 40-year-old man. You wild, Tommy. You need to calm down. And something got to happen with that defense. I will have to do something. You have to rotate guys a little bit more. You have to come up with different schemes because you can't keep letting these guys get abused. I mean, after that game with Chase and Higgins just had their way, that should have been enough. It should have rung a bell. Say, well, maybe we need to change something up because after you're not going to stop seeing receivers. That's the thing. It's not too many 30-year-old corners in the league, but there is a lot, and I mean a lot of 20-year-old receivers. And regardless of what age of 20, they are lightning fast. And these guys getting beat off the breaks. It's not that they don't have the ability to technique. It's not that they're bad players, but you're putting a lot on them. And you want to leave them one-on-one with Chase or Watson or Kraft. These guys, they have in their way, and it shows. And the defense, something gonna have to happen. But that's on y'all. Y'all decide what y'all want to do. But that's where we at. So that was week 8. Hopefully things get better for some teams. Hopefully some guys come back from injuries, and we'll see where we go in the next week. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good week.